Ratio, rates, and percents. We're going to be dealing with word problems that use these ideas. Now, they might not necessarily be only dealing with the ratio, rate, or percent, but it's going to be in there, and you'll have to use it to figure out a bigger problem. All right, a ratio, a quick review. All these are fractions, by the way. All these guys, they are fractions. They just mean different things. A ratio is a fraction that compares the same items. We'll say same type of item. For example, I give out money in a ratio of 3 to 1. That means one kid, $3 to $1, for example. That means one kid would get $3, another kid would get $1. So if I had $4, one kid would get 3, the other one get 1. So these guys are the same unit. They're both dealing with dollars. And usually it'd be written like in the way like this. So this one, kid A, got a ratio of 3, kid B to 1. So we've used pictures like that where the pictures have to be the same size. Anytime you deal with ratios or rates or percents, pictures should be the same size. So these two mean the exact same thing. And that way in this problem, if Bobby had $5 here, how much would Alberto get?
15.
Yeah, he'd have 5, 5, and 5, which is 15. So that would be a ratio. Now we're dealing with rates. A rate is another fraction that compares different items. You see this all the time in grocery stores and gas stations. It's $2 and, no, that's not a 2. That's $2.50 for 1 gallon. Or they might say something is $5 for 2 boxes of Reese's Peanut Butter Cup cereal. I saw that at the store yesterday, and so I got it. But I didn't buy 2 boxes. I bought 1 box. So how much did I spend for that? That was great. I haven't had that in a long time. Now the key idea with rates, you're comparing 2 different items, but usually when you talk about rates, usually the bottom number is 1. That's what we call a unit rate, because unit just means basically 1. But it doesn't have to be. Percent is just a fraction where the bottom equals 100. Because per means out of, and cent means 100. So for a credit card, usually gives, we'll say, about an 18% interest rate. That means if you owe $100 and you don't pay it on time, you have to pay an extra $18 at the end of the month. So make sure you pay your credit cards on time, or just don't get a credit card. So, page 73. This student here already kind of talked about it. Ali takes 15 minutes to walk from the school to the train station. So you got a school right here. And then the train station. So this kid right here is walking, and it takes him 15 minutes to get through. Actually, it takes him to get all the way through. It takes him 15 minutes. And you got this other person, Bala. Takes her 20 minutes. So here she is. Boop. Doot, 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 doot. Takes her 20 minutes. And they say the difference in their speed. So we'll say, who's traveling faster? This guy's faster because it takes him a lower amount of time. Ali's speed minus Bala's speed is 2 kilometers per hour. Now, which of these three things are we talking about? Ratios, rates, or percents? We're talking rate because we're talking about two different things. 2 kilometers per, in this case, 1 hour. Now, Ali's speed, I don't know how long it is, how far it is from the school to the train. So we'll just say that the distance. And if you remember, speed is distance divided by time. Do you guys remember that from 6th grade? Yeah. Also, time is distance divided by speed, or distance, or speed times time equals distance. So we're going to deal with this guy, basically. Well, not yet. I don't know the distance, but to figure out, actually, we're going to deal with this guy here, because this is speed, isn't it? So we're trying to figure out their speed. Distance divided by the time for Ali, and distance divided by the time for Bala should equal to 2. Now, the key thing is this right here. This says 1 hour, correct? Yes, no?
Yes.
All right, so that means the distance divided by the time. Well, how long did it take Ali? 15 minutes. But that says minutes. This says hours. So how do I turn one to the other? 15 minutes is how much of an hour?
140.
Yeah, if you want to take a look at your little clock right there, that's 1 whole. So 15 minutes is right there out of 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1/4 of an hour. So here, distance divided by the time is distance divided by 1/4 of an, not 14th, divided by 1/4 of an hour minus. Same distance. For this guy, it's 1/3 of an hour because 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes make up 60 minutes equals 2. But if I have distance divided by 1 divided by 4, how do I do that? Ah, there you go. That's exactly it. We got there. This is the division problem. Something divided by a fraction. How do you divide fractions? What was that little poem I taught you?
Flip and multiply.
There's no reason to ask why. Flip the second number and multiply. So here, this is like saying d times 4/1. Where did I get 2 from? This is like saying d times 3/1. Well, what's 4 times d? 4d. What's 3 times d? 3d, and that's equal to 2. So what's 4 minus 3? 1. So 1d equals 2 kilometers per hour. We don't need to do anything. So the d, the d would actually be 2 kilometers, really, because the distance is 2, right? The distance is d. So your final answer is that. You didn't need to convert anything. You just look at that and say 4 times the distance minus 3 times the distance is going to be 2. Well, 4 minus 3 is 1d, and that's what we're looking for, isn't it? So 1d, so the distance is just 2 kilometers. Kind of crazy, huh? So that simple little, this is the tricky part right here. You guys had the idea of this is speed, distance divided by time. You understood that 1/4 of an hour is just 15 minutes. The tough part was remembering in 6th grade that there's no reason to ask why. Flip the second number and multiply. And that's how they came up with that example there. Pretty nifty, huh? I hope you enjoyed this quaint little example concerning, in this case, a rate. If you didn't, please watch this video instead. Or watch my latest video right over here. But don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon, because if you don't, you won't get updates for my next video. So have a nice day, and always keep mathing.